Draft profiles continue. You know the drill. With the draft guru, Cravante Bebe, James Pearce Jr. Cravante, we going down to Tennessee and the SEC.
Whew. We don't go to Tennessee often. Now I think about it. SEC usually SEC we going a little bit further south, but we got a hell of a prospect right here. So let's dive into it.
Yes, and I have your favorite new stat, RAS relative
Yes,
athletic score for
yes,
James Pierce Jr. But real
yes.
quick, Junior, another junior, 6'5", 245, runs a 4.47, 31-inch vertical. First season, 5 tackles. Second season, 27 tackles, 2 forced fumbles, 1 interception, 10 sacks, 14 and a half tackles for loss, and only 3 starts. Then this past year, 52 pressures, 38 tackles, 7.5 sacks, 1 forced fumble. Cravante. The brother has some production, but some also off the field things as well. But let's bring up the RAS and I'll let you do your thing.
Mm, mm, mm. It
There you go.
is. Wow. And that's out of 10, ladies and gentlemen. That's out of 10. 9.4. It's out of 10. Look at that stuff. Like I said, I really like these. I'm learning new stats as the years go on, but this relative athletic score is definitely something to look at. But yeah, so James Pierce has the talent wise, he has the talent to be picked in the top half um of this draft. Absolute incredible burst off the line of scrimmage. And one thing edge rushers need to have is can I say bend ability. They absolutely need to be able to have that, be able to dip under these offensive tackles arms frame and get around, hit the edge, because you can't widen, you can't loop that edge, because the quarterback can just step up, step to the side or whatever, because that's what the offensive lineman really wants you to do. They want you to go wide and would just keep pushing you to the outside, but being able to bend to shorten that angle to the quarterback um can create a lot of pressures. um for his size, he actually sets the edge pretty well. For him to only be a 245, he sets the edge pretty well. So that's also something that's underrated. That edge rush is not all about the sacks and quarterbacks and all that, but being able to set the edge in the running game. So you could be in there all three downs and not worry about it, and you'll be able to do what you have to do to be pretty much to be productive on the defensive side of the ball. So his what else we got? Demonstrates great counter moves off the initial rush and with great regularity. I think there was something I said again in Mason, I'm saying not Mason Rudolph, Mason Graham's profile. Very consistent, very, very, very consistent. Like what you get out of him is pretty much what you'll regularly get out of him. If we jump to the weaknesses, he can stand to put on some some pounds to his frame. Because the offensive lineman big, man. I don't. He's not going to win as often as he did in college at the next level, because these guys, these offensive tackles, are huge, and when they get hands on you, um, it's hard to get them. It's hard to disengage. Um, Even though he's had some great production in college, it's going to be harder at the next level. Um, Not always the best at finishing once he disrupts. Sometimes he can disrupt early and kind of get lost in the sauce, kind of get washed out. So little something, like I said, when he's a top prospect, we got to nitpick a little bit. Um, and his frame will probably deter a lot of teams, especially like where's your division. Now another weakness, and I don't know if it's weakness, negative, or whatever. He doesn't have the best character, is what we're hearing. I'm not sure if it's it because it's not like off the field stuff. It's like he's not a good locker room guy, not a great teammate, and it's been said that he kind of melded in. Once I guess once he figured out that Tennessee wasn't gonna, I guess wasn't gonna make it far in the playoffs or whatever or bowl games, he kind of melded in. So the motor wasn't there. So those are some things to look at, and these are some things like GMs and those front office people have to have a conversation with him about that, because typically they like guys who love football. I ain't say like football. They got guys who love football because we need that type of enthusiasm and energy. And if at oh, we not making the playoff, we may be out of playoff contention. Are you gonna mail in at the next level? These are questions that have to be asked by GMs, and he's going to have to answer that. Is he going to bring that same intensity like that? Like, look, the get off is crazy. The get off is wild.
And how
But
about against Alabama? I was going to say 10 pressures, a sack and a half, 3 run stops, 28% win rate.
he was in the SEC, so this is it. This is elite level talent we're talking about. These are elite level tackles that we're talking about. This is damn near junior in NFL talent right here. You know what I'm saying? So his he has the ability to be a Pro Bowl All Pro potential if all the other, let me say, I guess intangible boxes get checked off. Because what we're hearing is not the best news, which is probably why he has a good chance of falling, even though he has the talent to be picked in the top half of the first round. He may not get picked to the bottom, to the back end of the first round, maybe in the 20s, because of those character concerns.
You got a player comp, and where do you see him falling? Because I think he falls to the 20s.
So, a guy you may know, Adafe Owe. I have two, Adafe Owe, and he has some Randy Gregory in him as well. But I like both of those as comparisons. But I agree. I think there's a chance he will fall to the 20s, because if you have similar grades on him and somebody else and there's no character issues, you probably gonna pick the guy without character issues. But his upside is tremendous.
And he can cover a little bit too. I did see some of that in the tape. He can cover a little bit as well, which is good.
He got an interception too.
Yes.
So just showing some versatility is never a bad thing. But on the pass rushing side of the game, he has elite level potential.
I like him better than I liked Owe. Owe had no sacks, Cravante. I don't still understand why they drafted a guy with no sacks, but that's why they paid him the big bucks. But he did have 10 sacks this past year, career high. So getting with the right coaches, they have a really good defensive line, pass rush specialist in my boy, what's his name? I can't even think of his name right now, but um, Chuck Smith, the guru, pass rush guru. So he works with these guys. So you see Van Noy, you see Matabike, you see Owe getting these career years. You got a guy you can probably mold, and I love him as an athlete because you can move him.
And also him being 6'5", with his frame, he can probably bat down a lot of passes too. You know what I'm saying, from that side. So he checks a lot of, well, he pretty much checks all the boxes physically, outside of the frame concerns. But when you look at the tape, he's pretty good with the with holding up on the edge in the run game, which is something that we really don't talk about when it comes to edge, being able to set the edge in the run game, and you not being a lot of liability, because once they see that they can run on you, they'll keep running to your side. But if you show that you can set the edge, you're forcing them to be more balanced. So the
And
upside is crazy here.
only 21. He won't be 22 until the season starts. He'll in October. So, and you can see 28 tackles, 14 and a half tackles for loss, 10 sacks, 2 forced fumbles to pick 6. So only going to get better potentially as well.
Yeah, and you said it earlier, being able to run a 4.4 is pretty good. Him being able to chase down those quarterbacks who just about all of them are coming to the league being mobile. So him being able to get that burst off the line and be able to chase down quarterbacks if he has to, the potential is there.
And you can see on the tape here, he can play all around. He can play coverage. He can get out and move. And always that competition. Playing in the SEC is just, guys are ready. I'm excited to see where he goes because I think if he falls to the right team, he could be a guy that can maybe flirt with double-digit sacks as a rookie. Maybe he might get 8 or 9.
Absolutely. So there's so many guys that could be potentially available at 29, but I'm kind of trying, as a Commanders fan, I'm just thinking we probably gonna trade out of that. We probably gonna trade out of that pick, man, just because we only have 5 picks. I know Adam Peters loves his picks, so we're probably not picking at 29. I'm just looking at like, it'd be nice to have him at 29. Oh, it'd be nice to have him. But not Michael Pierce, but James Pearce, Jr. If the character concerns check out, I love to have him on the defense.
Yeah, I think he's a guy that we're going to look back on this draft and say, well, wow, he was a high value pick of where he was drafted. He played higher than where he was drafted, and
Absolutely.
he could be one of the best players in this draft.
Absolutely, especially at edge.
Well, James Pearce Jr., let us know in the comment section, where does he go? An intriguing prospect, a thriving, young, rising phenom, and it'll be intriguing to see where he goes on draft day. Comment down below, hit the subscribe button. Stay tuned for more draft profiles. And of course, Cravante will be right here with me.